We do this for the ancestors, okay? We do it for ourselves, everyone that came out here. But most important, we do it for the future generations of Korean API youth.
So we're just doing 1/8 count of the chorus, the first chorus, basically, then it goes into the bridge.
Yeah.
And then we clap and we go collect the tips. Yeah.
But like, I'm like, bitch, and then you're like, bitch, and then we're like, bitch.
Okay, I like that.
I am Bibi Discoteca. I am a drag performer. Have been performing professionally around the LA area for about 7 years now.
My name is Miss Shu Mai. I am a Taiwanese, Hong Kongese, American drag performer, and I've been doing drag for about 6 years now. So Send Noodz Party is a queer and trans Asian Pacific Islander drag extravaganza.
We give the performers the theme and like the platform to be able to be like, you know what, I think I'm gonna do a number that may be a little bit more cultural, maybe something that's tied to my family lineage in some sort of way.
Yeah, we noticed that before we had found Send Noodz, we were noticing that we were usually the only Asians in a cast. It obviously takes a toll on us emotionally to be tokenized in that kind of a way. And also, there were so many of us Asian drag performers out here, but we were also spread apart. There was no one place for us to go. And so to be able to do numbers, the audience can see themselves in those numbers, it's been very, very impactful for our community. One of the big things that people know about our show, it is very unapologetically API. Like, we encourage people to either come in their cultural regalia. We encourage our performers that we let them know each time, you're performing and this is going to be a specific space for our community. That's your assignment. And you can take the opportunity to explore numbers that kind of celebrate your heritage or not. March of 2020, when lockdown happened, was when our 1-year anniversary was supposed to be. From then, our first virtual event back was actually to kick off Asian Pacific American Heritage Month in May. And since then, every month from then on, we had an online Zoom show. Those times were challenging. Sometimes it was very beautiful to be able to get together with the community in a safe way during those times.
But yeah, it feels great to be performing, you know, in a different way in the pandemic. I feel like once we got back into person, like I really felt that energy. I was just like, whoa, I miss this.
I mean, we've been doing this together now for 3 years, which just kind of hit me that we've been working on this.
Oh my God, yeah.
Together, and from the beginning, we actually are going to be having our 3-year anniversary at the same venue as our first ever Send Noodz, which is the Offbeat in Highland Park.
Happy 3-year anniversary to us! The light-ups posted all around here. We cannot wait to party with y'all. Thank you all so much for coming!
Thank y'all for making this party what it is.
Yes.
It's not just a party, it's a cultural event.
I mean, y'all know what Send Noodz is. Y'all know that this is a big thing for our community. Doing it for the future generations of queer Asians to be able to see themselves in you. And you move something in the audience today. Every single one of you moved something in the audience today to be able to be themselves more freely and love themselves more freely at the intersection of their queerness and their identity.
I don't have much to add to that.
Fuck, I took it off.
Beautiful.
No. Slurp on 3.
Let's slurp on 3.
Slurp on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's have a good show, y'all!
Okay, so the way that I got started into drag, I started when I was 18. At that point in my life, I had kind of shunned drag out of my life just because of internalized things and stuff going on at home. But it was reintroduced into my life and I was able to, you know, find the new love for it and find the new appreciation. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. And I was still very much like, oh, you know, like I'm just like a gay dude, like doing drag. But now like, you know, with drag, I've been able to like really explore my own gender identity and come out as trans. So it's just, you know, the pipeline a little bit.
I had always been interested and looked up to powerful and beautiful feminine figures in my life. And by that, I mean Sailor Moon and, say, the girls from Final Fantasy X2. And I was like, they look so cool. I want to dress up as one of them for Halloween. I told one of my friends that, and then she was like, that's cool, but people are gonna laugh at you. And so, the closet doors went like that.
Yeah.
And so I always kind of had that in the back of my head. Fast forward, I am working my nonprofit job at API, which is a Asian Pacific and Islander HIV organization. I was like, maybe this is an opportunity to start a new art form for myself. And I was like, I want to do drag. Then I talked to one of my coworkers about it, and then she was like, oh yeah, I'll put you in drag. She ended up becoming my drag mother. I went to Anime Expo in drag as an extremely niche Pokemon cosplay.
Drag is like, you know, make it work, learn as you go. Everyone has like their own method to do it, and it's what works for them. You know, it's something that you gotta find for yourself over time.
For me, drag was a huge tool and a vessel for me to integrate queerness as how that intersects with my ethnicity. Whether that looks like me in drag lip syncing to songs that my parents sang at karaoke, and that's how I kind of celebrate them. Using my culture and talking about things that my community faces through drag too, such as Asian fetishization, immigration, appropriation, etc.
All right, I said, Send Noodz, are y'all ready for a drag show? Okay, let's get it.
For those of us who have actually been to Asia, when we see the queens perform, it's just as special as magical, but you also realize that over there, everybody is Asian. So there's less of kind of like a urgency to have that sort of space carved out, but here, it's truly an authentic Asian American experience.
All I've ever wanted is to be able to perform in drag doing Filipino songs. And there's always been a hesitation for me to do that in regular shows around LA because I don't know how people would respond to it. But when they asked me to do Send Noodz, I knew it was the time for it.
I had come out to my parents like a few years prior to starting drag, and so they had some time to kind of like acquiesce with like me coming out as gay. It was not an easy journey, and it was a lot of tough conversations. But when I started doing drag, they definitely were like they had the disgruntled parent Asian frown. When I went up to the Bay, was where I'm from, to compete in a pageant in San Francisco, which I subsequently won. They were actually, I was getting ready at my parents' house. There was this one moment specifically, I was like trying to MacGyver this dress made of takeout boxes on my body. And at one point I was like, I need an extra hand. I was like, Mom, can you help me? And then like my dad goes and pauses the Chinese drama they're watching. They both get up, like my mom is holding this tight. My dad is helping me staple something somewhere. And it was just like a very, very touching moment of like, oh wow, my parents are actually like, they might not get it, but they're supporting it. Them attending that pageant was the first time they'd seen me in drag in person. Winning was the cherry on top. It was the icing on the cake, but them being there and hearing my mom say that she's proud of me for the first time, it was just testament to how much work we'd put into our relationship.
The first year that I started drag, I was living in my parents' house, but I hid it completely. Like, I had my makeup in a toolbox, like a literal toolbox, and I had a suitcase that had my costumes in it. So I would have to make like very strategic trips from my room to my car. But then I finally told them, and you know, it's been like up and down, I would say. You know, sometimes they were like tolerant of it, and then they would be like not into it. So I kind of had to go through that roller coaster a little bit throughout the years. More recently, you know, I think they're definitely like wrapping their head around it more and being a lot more supportive of it. So, you know, I'm just like really grateful for that. And they actually came to a Send Noodz recently, and that was really amazing. Like that
whole
was
family
like,
too.
Yeah, but yeah, basically, yeah, most of my family. So that was just like really amazing, and that brought it all together.
in the drag world, it's not like, you know, there's not API performers everywhere that are like, yeah, come, you know, like, let's make a space for you. It's not that. It's not that at all, to be honest. Me doing drag was like me living authentically as myself, but also like I needed to be that person when I was younger because I didn't have that. So having Send Noodz is like very, very important.
A lot of times with our heritage, we don't think like, oh, it's like marketable for our drag, for our performance. Like we should be like, oh, I should like play to the audience, and the audience is a lot of times like white. So we're like, I want to make money, but like here it's like I feel more free to explore that part, which I don't think I would have had the space to before.
Just in today alone, I've seen people perform song, I've seen people just lip sync, and people perform dance, and these are all different ways of expression. And so I think what Send Noodz is doing in putting this on and creating this space and this opportunity for individuals to come and share their side, I think is something truly, truly amazing.
When we do the show, we encourage our performers to do numbers that feel good to them culturally, and maybe for some of them help them reconnect a little bit more, or not even just reconnect, but just connect a little bit more with their culture. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, as Asians, as queers, you know, we're not always included in all the traditions. We need to make sure that these traditions that we're doing are for us and make sure that we feel good about doing them too. So I feel like that's why I'm always like, you know, make it make sense for you and connect with your culture in your own way.
From the show, I want people to know that they're seen. And I want people to know that they're safe with us. There's hostility, there's danger, there's, you know, tokenism and microaggressions all over, and, you know, obviously that can happen within our community as well. But I hope that this is a space where everyone can feel invited, seen, embraced, and encouraged to take the next step into unveiling what their true authenticity is.
Hi, Send Noodz. Did y'all have a good time today? Are y'all ready to have an amazing rest of your night? And are y'all ready to celebrate with us another year of queer and trans API excellence? Enough of us talking. Y'all want to party?